Hello, my name is Sailer-Haugland. Welcome to C++ Lesson 1, Hello World. This lesson will be posted live on YouTube on June 5th, 2019 at 12 p.m. In this lesson, you'll learn how to navigate through a Linux environment, and you'll learn the essentials to creating your very first C++ program. Let's get started. If you are on a Mac, follow along to open up the Terminal app. If you are on a Windows or PC, open up the Terminal app that you have installed or is on your device. And wait. To open up the Terminal app on a Mac, click the Finder button. Click Applications. Scroll down to Utilities and click Terminal. To keep your Terminal app in your dock, simply hold the Terminal app, go to Options, and select Keep in Dock. Let's now explore the Linux environment. Let's first write ls-l. We are in what's called a directory. And in modern terms, a directory is a folder. So when I type ls-1, I'm printing out all of the files and directories within a directory. A directory can contain directories and files, but a file can only contain code. A file cannot contain a directory. Let's start by creating our very first directory. This is for organizational purposes. To create your very first directory, simply type mkdir. This stands for make directory. Then let's type in a name for this directory, cs_1. Nothing pops up. Now let's print our current working directory. We can see that cs_1 was added, as well as the date and time it was added. To enter a directory, simply say cd and then the name of the directory in which you want to enter. To exit a directory, simply say cd ... Let's enter the directory. To locate where you are, simply write pwd. And we can see that we're in users/your name, or the name of the computer you are working on, /cs1. Now, let's create our very first C++ program. We will be using C++11 and C++14. To create a file, type the following: nano, the name of the file, in this case we will call it hello. and then the program in which we are programming the file in, which is C++ or CPP. Then hit enter. You have now entered into a brand new file. Let's write 2 lines of code first. The IO stream basically allows us to use input and output streams. Without these, we can't really output anything to the user. So, in our case, this is an essential and necessary part to programming our programs. Let's write another line. Using namespace std semicolon. This gives us the standard C++ library of functions already predefined. This allows us to actually input and output specific input and output things such as strings or numbers in our C++ program. We will look at one of these functions as we write our code. Every C++ program needs a main function. To write the main function, simply type this: int main, open and close parentheses, and open and close brackets. And yes, it is main. You'll understand why we do this in a later video, but this is how you set up a C++ program. Every C++ lesson starts with printing out hello world. So I'm gonna introduce you to your first standard library function. Cout. What cout is, it says, hey, everything to the right of me, output to the user. Every single cout must be accompanied with two less than signs. You'll see why later we use less than signs, because we will also be using greater than signs in a different video. Let's print out a string. A string is accompanied with 2 double quotes. Let's print out hello world. And then I'm gonna introduce you to one more standard function called endl. It looks good. Let's run our code. To exit the file in which we entered, simply hit Ctrl X, then hit Y, and then hit return or enter. Now we want to compile our code. We want to translate it into zeros and ones so that the computer can understand us. To do so, type G++. We're using G++ as a compiler. Then type the file name. It's going to take a while and we'll see why. So we see we have some errors in our code. We can see that namespace is incorrectly spelled and we need a semicolon at the end of our line, hello world. Let's go back into the file by typing nano. We see that we have misspelled namespace. At the end of every function, at the end of every line that has a function in it, we have to have a semicolon. This tells the compiler, hey, this function is done. We don't need to run it anymore. So we're just going to end this function when a semicolon appears. Now, let's exit our program and let's compile it. We see that we have no errors now. That is amazing. This is one more file you will be working with. To run the program that you've just compiled using G++, hit dot or period /a.out. Boom. Our code has successfully ran. Let's go back to the nano, but this time I want to show you a little shortcut. Let's just type H and hit the tab button in the upper left-hand corner of your keyboard. It auto-completes. Now let's hit enter and we're in. This is a shortcut you can use. I use it a lot. So what did we do in this program? We said, hey, I want to output the string hello world, and then I want to create a new line. Endline creates a new line. But we can do this another way. We can say hello world /n. /n basically does the exact same thing and endline does, but we just put it in the string. Let's run our code again, see if it works. Let's use the shortcut, H tab. It compiles. Let's try and use the tab on ./a. It does the exact same thing. So, today, you learned the basics of navigating through a Linux environment, plus you learned how you first integrated an output in a C++ program. Down below is a challenge that reflects what we did in the video. Please try it out. And if you have any questions, please comment down below questions you may have. Or if you want, go on my social media and ask me there. I will hopefully be able to answer you in a timely manner. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. of C++ programming.